Hi guys, this is demo lesson number 1 and we are going to create an atmosphere in a jar. So the lessons before this are atmosphere in a bag and the layers of the atmosphere tableau. So that kind of builds up to the students' knowledge of what they need to know for this. So I have the layers of the atmosphere. These are your tableau text cards. You'll have these in lesson plans, but this is what students can have, or they did have for their tableaus. So they actually know a whole lot about the atmosphere and what's in each layer of the atmosphere at this point, right? So things that you need, we have our gallon jars, color pencils, we have some cotton balls, clay to create the things, and some airplanes just in case your kids freak out because they can't make airplanes. So string to suspend everything from the lid of the jar, and then tape to secure it, nice strong packing tape. So Jeffrey and I are going to start out with just kind of coloring, shading the papers to show the different layers of the atmosphere. So we are going to kind of line them up where you can see different layers with the paper. So just quick shading. We'll do them sideways like this. There you go. There you go. We're going to slap some tape on it. And I'll show you what we're doing. All right, so that's kind of, which obviously we could just do this on one paper too. That makes more sense. And now we're just going to color to show as an easy representation of, excuse me, each layer. So lighter there, quick shade. There you go, a little darker the next one. All right, and I'm going to use Sharpies to just label those different layers of the atmosphere. This is quick coloring, guys. Fast coloring. Here you go. One more. He's doing a great job. Then just shade some black for the thermosphere. We have a lot of excess paper, so we're just going to cut it off the top. There you go. See? It all looks black, doesn't it? All right, we'll show you in a minute. So we're just going to kind of measure, cut off the excess paper off the top. I say measure, we just put it next to the jar. So you can kind of see, here in just a second, we're going to pause it so you can see it close up. And there you go. If you can see, we have just different layers, so it represents different colors, different parts of the atmosphere. And then we're going to write on it what part of the atmosphere those are. So, one second. Okay, so we have written the layers of the atmosphere on there. You can kind of see the colors a little better now that we've got some words on there. So, the next step is to now create items that are in each layer of the atmosphere. So, we have clay for that, but we also have cotton balls because obviously they need to know about clouds in the 4th grade. So, we start out with cotton balls. So, we are going to I'm going to make the Cumulus Clouds because those are easier. And you're going to make the Stratus Clouds. So we're going to create those and kind of roll tape and tape those on the side. They need to be tiny clouds because they're on the bottom. So we're just puffing some clouds. And you know, kids rolling tape is interesting, so just hang in there. All right, you could use some of that. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, you know, it's going to put their puffy clouds in the troposphere, which is obviously the only layer of the atmosphere that they really need to know. I would just lay it on the bottom there, since they kind of settle on the earth. Those stratus clouds do, and we need some serious clouds, so some thin wispies. Now, if you would like to focus more on the troposphere, that makes sense. You could make the troposphere a little bigger, so that way they could actually put those clouds more or less more where they go versus just kind of taped on there, just kind of what we're doing right now. This is what happens when your kids rush through something. So, all right, so we have our clouds. See, stuck in there. Oh, yeah, here you go. All right. Then with the, and you could do a mountain, like we have clay, so the mountains and things like that would be in the troposphere. Anything that's on the Earth's surface, they could put a blue piece of paper on the bottom to represent water. They can really be as creative as you allow them to be. So next we have the stratosphere. So that's kind of the troposphere. Between the troposphere and stratosphere, we have where the commercial jets fly, kind of right in between there. So you can take string. So we're just going to show them how to suspend one of them. So if you want to undo that. So we're going to put planes there, but also in the stratosphere we have weather balloons. So kids in creating with clay can get kind of scary because you have the perfectionists who worry that their stuff isn't perfect. So there's a video attached to the lesson plans that shows kids how to create using clay, and the first thing they tell you to do is pretty much to roll into a ball first. So we roll into a ball, and my weather balloon, I'm just gonna kind of make it look like a giant hot air balloon. So I'm just gonna roll. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Oh, so I'm trying to make a cone. And kids with Chromebooks can look up pictures of these items. There's also some on the text cards that you have. Kind of little mini version of a weather balloon. And we're talking about the plane. We got the string. So the plane is in between. It's a giant plane compared to our atmosphere. But the idea is we want to, let's see, did you see that professional measuring that Jeffrey just did? So you can either you can tie it, or you can give them planes to hang from the top, or you can let them create plane. It's up to you. You might need a little more string for the tying of it. Or we could just tape it. So ideally, tying the string around the item first and then figuring out how much distance you need. Yes, this plane is crashing to earth. So you would tape it to the lid, okay? And then use packing tape for that. And we will do that in just a second. Love it. We have our balloon. You can obviously let your clay dry if you have air dry clay, but I don't think we have air dry clay. Yep, air dry clay, so you will be able to let it dry and then tie it on, so it could be a next day project. You could let them paint. All of these things just help them to see this over and over again, see this model of the atmosphere, and helps them to remember that what's the most important part of the atmosphere, of course, is what's closest and where weather occurs, which is where we kind of springboard all of our lessons from at this point. You can also create meteors. A modification instead of creating a meteor could be that you go get rocks from outside and you tie them and use those. You can expand this, and instead of doing the layers, you can just do the troposphere and just have the different the different clouds laid out. This could be an assessment after you do cloud lesson, so they can show you what cloud goes in what part of the troposphere, which one's closest to the Earth, higher up, and then, of course, a few questions about what kind of weather that cloud brings. So you didn't get to use your clay skills. Did you want to make? Oh, we got a rocket. So the rocket goes in the mesosphere. So we would hang that, and let's go ahead and hang a plane so that way they can see it. Hang our crashing plane. So let's see. Gonna do about there? All right. Tape, please, sir. So this will take a couple minutes to find the end of the tape. Oh, impressive. Oh, thank you. All right, tape it down. Excess string clip. Thank you, sir.
Nope.
And ta-da! Let me get close. And we have our crashing airplane. With these lesson plans, there is an attached rubric, so that way you can assess them that way, or you can modify the rubric however you would like. So if you have any questions, you know how to email us.